So no, I did not like Haku that much.
Okay.
Keep it in your pants. You know what I mean?
Oh my god. I love doesn't have to be.
Also seemed like a stalker to me. You know, it's like she fell into the Hokaku River and is like, I've known you since you were little. She's still little, bro. Creeper. It's a good thing they drained your river and built apartments on top of it. Good thing.
Okay.
Hello, fellow weebs and otakus, to another episode of Anime Fix, where you're fix for all things anime. I'm Chase.
I'm Lance.
Hello, Lance.
Hello, Chase.
Hey, quick question. Is that one of those Ember mugs that you have?
No.
No?
This is a special edition top of the morning coffee mug.
Top of the morning? What's that mean?
It's a coffee company called Top of the Morning.
Oh, I thought you had one of those like special Ember coffee mugs.
I do have a special. I have a lot of mugs.
Why do you have the Ember one? And why aren't you using that one though? Because isn't that one like
So the Ember one's more of a
mug?
travel. The Ember one's more of a travel mug.
Oh, you got the travel one. I thought you got the actual mug one.
But yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's why. Also, I have different mugs that I like to use. You know, I change every day.
Nice. Well, my ADD aside, what are we talking about today, Lance?
Talking about your first Studio Ghibli movie, Spirited Away.
Yeah, Spirited Away. That's the first one I remember because I remember watching Kiki's Delivery Service when I was little, but I know nothing about it because I don't remember. But Spirited Away is my first Studio Ghibli film that I actually remember watching. And I will start by saying this. It felt like I was in a fever dream the whole time watching it.
I imagine, oh God, what's her name? I can't remember. Chihiro, yeah. I imagine
Chihiro or Sen.
Was also probably felt like she was in a fever dream through most of the movie.
It started off normal, like a normal Shinkai film, right? With humans.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's just like, well, it's getting
they're
creepy
pigs now. Yeah.
No, it's getting creepy. There's spirits everywhere, and her parents are pigs. And what's happening?
Why did they become pigs?
Because they are greedy, and their consumerism. But they ate all the food that the dad said, "Don't worry, Daddy's here. I have credit cards and cash. We can afford it." But they couldn't afford it because it wasn't their food. Yeah. It was spirits' food, and turned them into pigs because of their greed.
I remember, so like when I first watched it, you see that happen, and then later on in the film where you see that whole bunch of pigs. Like, oh my gosh, this is an outlier. This happens all the time, and they just keep them.
Well, no. Does it happen all the time, or is it only those two parents and the rest are just regular pigs that they use to make food?
I think it was all of them. Like, all those pigs were people. Because really? Because at the end of the film, she has to choose. She doesn't know which ones.
Yeah, but those are spirits that Yubaba like transformed into them for just that purpose.
Okay, then I was misunderstanding on my part. I thought that was like just a collection of.
Oh, goodness gracious! You know how dark the film would be if they're all people and they eat people on the reg. Goodness gracious! These are spirits. They're supposed to be good spirits. I mean, they're not all good spirits, but like these are supposed to be like Japan's like holy like spirits. It'd be awful if they're eating people, bro.
I think it'd make it an even more interesting film. I'd like to see that. I want a director's cut of Spirited Away. They're eating people.
I mean, I'll tell you what, the lack of eating people in this film was definitely made up with vomiting. How much people vomited in this or bled?
Yeah.
This movie's rated PG, right? Or PG-13.
I'm not sure. Once I got past a certain age, I stopped looking at at
Well, I
parental
mean, me,
ratings.
me too, but like this is a kids film for 10-year-old girls. Like the Miyazaki wrote this movie and directed it for a friend's 10-year-old daughter that wanted to like have a movie that like geared towards them, which is
Oh,
probably
that's
why
interesting. I didn't know that.
it's a fever dream.
Back to the
Yeah, so
beginning. Back to the
back to the
beginning.
beginning.
Daddy's here. He's got cash and credit cards. Credit cards and
Yeah.
cash.
Then he turns into a pig, and then it's just a roller coaster of looking for a job.
I gotta say, my favorite character was the spider-looking dude. Um,
Kamaji.
Kamaji, yeah.
Yeah, Kamaji's pretty cool. Why is he your favorite one?
Cause he's got this like grumpy sort of like leave me alone attitude, but when it came down to it, and it was Chihiro was going to be like in trouble. He's like, oh no, wait a minute, this is my granddaughter. I can
Yeah.
I think she deserves the job. This is what she should do, and he sort of saves her like that. So it's like sort of this like dual sided. Like he is a grump, a sort of like curmudgeon, but he also isn't like completely heartless, and he
Yeah.
recognizes that she means no harm, and so he sort of gives her a pass. That's why he's my favorite character. I like characters like that sort of have like a sort of front personality, but then they have sort of behind the scenes intentions.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I feel like most of the spirits in the movie are like that. Like even Yubaba is one of the main antagonists, but at the end she doesn't really like she so she's definitely a manipulator, but she definitely gives praise when praise is due. So like when Sen or Chihiro, I'm gonna call her Sen because it's easier for me to say. Sen, when she saves that river spirit, initially thought to be a slime stink spirit, she's like everyone can learn from Sen and like gives her praise. A main like manipulator villain would never do that, right? So like
Yeah.
she's slowly starting to warm up to Sen and slowly becoming a more fair spirit. I wouldn't say nice, but fair.
Do you think that river spirit? We actually
The
know.
He's one of the main river spirits. Like
Yeah.
he's a really big one.
So his name. So I pulled up a list of the names, so I keep track. Kanashi.
Kanashi, that's his name.
That's what it says. I don't think we ever heard it in the movie, but it's the dude with the mask. He probably eats everybody, and he spits out gold.
That guy? That guy's not the river spirit. What are you talking about?
Dude, that was no that. So when that slime monster came in, no, I'm confusing. Okay, I'm sorry.
You're
I'm
confusing No
confused.
Face. I mean, so
I'm
like that
confusing
slime
no face.
monster or the river spirit, he definitely spits out a little bit of gold, but that's just because he's a river spirit that's been polluted by so much garbage
No,
that some of the gold got in there.
I remember now. Yeah.
Yeah. But what is his name? He's like a dragon-like body. It's kind of cool. He's an old river spirit, countless wrinkles on his face. You mean like he looks like a zombie to me, but whatever. He's
Actually,
unnamed
he
river
felt pretty
spirit.
good after getting in that hot bath water.
Yeah, he's an unnamed river spirit. Huh. Oh well, that's not important. He's the only minor character that doesn't have that much impact on the story, right? Yeah, it's fine. It's all fine. But what's your overall thoughts of the movie? Let me ask you that.
Well, I definitely. So I brought up last week how Belle
Mm-hmm.
won more awards, right? Spirited Away.
Then did it?
That's what Tori said when she was reading about it. That Belle has won more awards than Spirited Away.
Nice.
I don't. I really like Spirited Away. I really like Belle. I don't know if I'd say that. I brought up that I would wonder what the awards were and what other films were being competed against at the time, because we're looking at like a 19, 20-year difference in when they came out, right?
Yeah.
So I'd be very curious about that. But just as a quality of film, I think Spirited Away is much better than Belle.
Oh yeah, 100%. Spirited Away is much better than Belle.
Definitely, some of the animation is better in Belle, but like you would expect that with you know several years difference in technology. But yeah, the film story itself, yeah, I'm much better.
Yeah. So I just looked up. I don't know about the rewards. That probably has one more awards, but I looked up highest grossing anime films of all time. Granted, Belle has only been out for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Um, but Belle right now, and another thing to think about too is anime is way more popular now than it was in 2001, right?
Yeah.
So like I feel like more people would actually watch anime now. So it makes sense that Belle did win more awards at the moment.
Not only more popular, but more readily available.
Exactly. But worldwide gross, where do you think Belle ranks out of all anime movies of all time right now? It's only been out 2 weeks,
Oh.
3 weeks,
Ooh.
or the dollar amount, I guess. Either that.
I won't even go so far as to say the dollar amount because I
Yeah.
don't have it. But
No clue.
if we're looking at like a
One
top
to a
10,
hundred.
1 to 100,
1 to 100.
I'd
Or sorry,
say
1 to 50. Sorry, it's one
1
to
to
50.
50. I would say, I'm going to say, can I say top 20? Will you accept that answer? Or do I need to actually pick like,
I'll accept that answer.
okay, I think it's in the top 20.
No, it's not. It's 36 right now. It's at 60 million at the moment. Dragon Ball Z beat it, just to let you know.
Okay.
So
Give it
far.
time.
But give it time, right? It's only 2 or 3 weeks out.
2 weeks,
But
though, to jump up like
I
14.
know. Guess where
That's
Spirit
pretty
Away is?
top 10.
Easily.
Yeah. What number? Like actual.
2.
What's number one?
What do you think number 1 is? It beat it
Is it,
by
it's your name, isn't it?
no. It beat it by $100 million.
It's not your
US
name.
dollars. Your name's third.
Gathering with you.
It's 6.
What?
What? You're not gonna get it because you haven't watched this anime.
Oh, okay.
I
Which is it?
understand. It's Demon Slayer Mugen Train.
Really?
503 million worldwide last year.
It's
Demon Slayer is
crazy.
a really good anime, man, and it makes sense because Demon Slayer Mugen Train. This is like because Demon Slayer came out in 2019 or 2018, 2019, but everyone was waiting for the next arc, and it didn't come out until this movie. And this movie's a banger. It really is.
Okay.
I would say I like Demon Slayer a lot. I would say I like it more than Spirited Away, but Spirited Away as a standalone story is way better, if that makes sense. You have to
Makes
watch
sense.
Demon Slayer season 1 to understand what's happening.
Okay.
But
That
yeah,
makes sense.
bro, second overall. But Belle, even being out for 2 to 3 weeks, it's
It's
killing it, man.
crazy. Yeah.
That's awesome. And
Um,
that's of
and
January 8th, by the
now
way.
is that's lifetime gross, right? That you're looking at? Or is it
Um,
for a set period of like
that is uh, yeah, lifetime. Well, no, yeah, worldwide gross based on film's original run, so only in theaters actually.
ooh.
Only in theaters. That's what Spirited Away and Demon Slayer got. So it's not all time. It's just they're as long as they're in theaters. That's impressive.
It's still
503
impressive, yeah.
million.
Yeah.
Even Spirited Away at the time of 2001, where anime was on its uptick because of Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon and all that stuff. But 2001 to do almost $400 million in its theatrical release. Whoa, bro.
That is
Whoa.
crazy. And that so like that even means like your name in 2019, you said it's third, but still like that's even much bigger deal because your name came out in 2019, right? No, your name came out in 2016,
Yeah.
and
2016.
then it was third, so 15 years before.
I mean, to think about it though, it's a lot of money, but like in terms of being close to Spirit Away, your name is only 15 million away.
It's crazy.
And then Howl's Moving Castle is fourth, and it's a huge margin difference at 236 million versus 380 million.
Before we get back to Spirited Away, because we're way off topic, I do want to
Oh,
mention.
I don't matter. It don't matter. We make the rules, Lance.
Something I learned is that Howl's Moving Castle is
Yeah.
actually not an original Japanese story.
Isn't?
No, it
That's
was
crazy.
its own like fantasy novel that released that a Japanese animators like Studio Ghibli decided to make into anime. So it wasn't a light novel, it wasn't a manga, it wasn't any of that other stuff, or like an like it's an original anime film, but it was based off of a just garden variety fantasy novel that was released at the time.
Oh, nice.
I thought was interesting and cool.
That's really cool. We'll have to watch that sometime as well. I think we're gonna go through all Studio Ghibli films eventually, but
Yeah, I Tori wants to be a guest for when we do House Moving Castle because she's actually read because there's multiple books in the series.
okay,
And she's read all of them. So
nice. One quick thing before we go back to Spirited Away, because we will. That what I just told you is box office revenue, so only as their time in theaters, right? Guess what anime film between home entertainment and merchandise sales grossed 1.4 billion, which is the highest.
imagine it'd probably be Dragon Ball, right?
Might be what?
Dragon Ball.
No, My Neighbor Totoro. Have you you remember all those those Totoro stuffed
Yeah.
plushies and all that stuff you see everywhere? It totally makes sense now. 1.4 billion. Whew.
That's actually one I haven't seen yet.
Billion. I mean, I haven't seen that either. We should do that one.
You want to do that one next?
Bro, that came out in 1988. Of course it has 1.4 billion. How much time it's had to sell things?
Anyway, back to Spirited Away.
Back to Spirit Away. Quick question.
Yes.
What parts of Spirit Away did you find frightening and or creepy?
So like No Face, like that whole when he's like,
You thought No Face was creepy or scary?
I thought when he was rejected by everybody, and so he got super sad and mad and started eating people and like consuming their voice, like he was talking to them. I thought that was creepy.
That's fair. Yeah, I think that was creepy. I think just the whole movie is creepy in my opinion. Like the first 15 minutes was fine. Last hour 45 was weird.
I don't know if I think the whole movie's creepy because like because it just seems like it's a sort of a
Fantasy movie.
fantasy girl, you know, in a different realm, you know, with all these, you know, quirky characters, like kind of like a, you know, like you see with Snow White, you know, random maiden hanging out with a bunch of, you know, mythical, you know, dwarves out in the woods, you know, or
I mean that's fair. It's just like for me, things that look human but aren't exactly human freak me out. So that's probably why. Because everything looked a little human except for the ones that actually are human, like Lin, Sen, and like Haku. Everyone have human-like features and characteristics, but they're drawn with either big heads, giant babies, or
the giant babies. So the giant
giant
that
baby.
was another creepy sort of like moment.
I liked them much better as a mouse.
Yeah, that was weird.
Oh yeah, totally weird.
I think what I'm trying to remember who. So the baby got turned into a mouse, and then who got turned into a baby?
The three heads got turned
Three
into
heads,
a baby.
yeah.
And then I forget who turned into the fly.
I don't remember either. Like those all. So that portion, like those characters.
the smaller bird girl.
Okay, yeah.
Yababa's like smaller girl bird thingy that had her face. She got turned into
that was creepy too. That was weird. So yeah, No Face and the giant baby. That's please love me.
I mean that's fair because like the vomiting was that was
Yeah.
kind of hard for me to watch. Of him just like, here, eat this half of a grape, and then just proceeds to vomit everywhere,
Hmm.
vomiting up humans, vomiting up monsters. It was awful.
Yeah.
Um, Adding on to that question is, how much scary stuff do you think young kids could handle, like watching that?
How young are we talking? Because the reason
Like
why I ask
10
is
or
because
10 below,
there's a point where like when you're a kid and you watch something scary, you don't really understand what you're looking at, right?
like my 2-year-old, because he was watching it with me, and like he was just watching away. He just liked all the bright colors and everything, I think. But
Yeah,
like,
they're just
he didn't seem phased by it though, you know?
yeah, because he's always hearing is just noises, bright colors. He doesn't really understand like what's happening, right? So like that's why I asked how young.
Yeah.
Do I think a 10-year-old would be scared by it?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so. I think they might be like, I don't, I don't think there was anything necessarily scary. Creepy, yes. I don't think there was anything scary.
No, I don't think anything
And
scary. There's no jump scares or anything like that.
yeah,
I mean, at the very beginning, when she's walking around, she's uncertain and scared. But
I
I
think there's
don't
definitely
think.
some tension. Like what's going to happen next? Like oh, like this. But yeah, I don't think anything was particularly scary, even for a kid.
Yeah, I totally agree. Any questions for you? I have like a couple other questions as well.
Oh, keep asking.
That's just from
Just so everyone knows,
commonsensemedia.org.
I dropped the ball. I dropped the ball this week. I did not watch the film or the recap.
I mean, you were halfway through that recap until you said, "Let's do it live."
I've seen the movie multiple times. Like, so there might be some specific details I missed, but like broad strokes, I remember what happened and the
Yeah, of
different
course.
frames. So
Yeah, you're the one that brought that up. I was gonna roll with it.
I know, no, I'll let people know. I'm not ashamed, unlike you.
What do you mean? I'll tell
Hey,
people.
hey, hey! Real quick. So, do you want to let everyone know when you're going to upload the episode, just so that if they,
I
'cause they
feel
have
motivated today, so it's probably gonna be today.
last week we did it on Sunday, and then I had to remind you on Tuesday to upload.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. I was definitely procrastinating, but I woke up this morning at 6, went worked out, came back, had McDonald's, took a shower. So I'm pretty motivated today.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Only reason I woke up at 6 was because my cat kept eating my son's wipes, like the baby wipes. So it woke me up, and I'm like, "Hey, get out of my room!" And then I was awake already, so I might as well just go work out.
you were up before me then.
Was I?
Yeah, I didn't wake up till 7:30.
I'll put that on my calendar as another day I beat Lance. Doesn't happen often, so.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does not. Does not.
But no, ask me what questions you have.
Is Chihiro a role model? How does she demonstrate perseverance and courage? Why are these important character strengths?
I hate when you Google lists of questions to ask because it feels
Especially
like I'm
when you haven't watched the movie.
that also makes me feel like I'm taking a test.
I love it. I enjoy interviews.
Is she a role model? I guess something that a character trait she has is like she looks past the initial perception or initial like she looks at a character in the story. She doesn't see like the face value of who they are. She takes a moment, like yeah, initially gets spooked and like it's like I don't know what I'm looking at, but then after a period of time, she's like okay. She tries to understand what's the sort of behind facade motivation, right? Like she picked up that No Face is just lonely.
Yeah.
Everyone
Well,
else is like all they saw was or he wanted to be her friend. Or he wanted a friend.
yep.
I wanted to be his friend, and then he started like producing gold. So then
Yep.
everyone started um, hanging around him. So he's like,
Being
"That's what
his
people want,
friend
being his
just for
friend."
gold. Yeah.
Yeah. Then so that sort of like pushed him over the edge, right? And so she became his friend regardless of that. She didn't want the gold. She just wanted him to stop hurting people. And so I think like I think that's something that a good sort of
Yeah.
example that a lot of people don't, fail at, and
Yeah.
myself included. I think it's a very difficult thing to do.
I even think before she went on the journey of being like of her character growth, like an Alice in Wonderland or like a Wizard of Oz like growth storyline for her. I think even beforehand, she was still better than most people, or better than like most like 10-year-old girls, I would say, because she didn't want her parents to eat all that food, right? Because like even though like the dad could pay for it and everything, you have to ask, or like you don't want to just like take food, bro. You know what I mean? And
Yeah, like
then
he just assumed, oh, I have like cash and credit, like I can pay for this, so why
yeah,
wouldn't they? That's a I think a characteristic a lot of people have is they think money, just because they have money,
yeah,
the world is their oyster, and like, yeah, maybe if I'm looking to sell, but if I'm not looking to sell, your money
yeah,
means nothing to me. Um, but she sort of had, you're right, like an understanding of, well, we don't know if we don't know where we're at or what this place is like. We shouldn't just assume.
yeah. And then this food might be for someone else that they had planned, you know, or
Oh,
something like that. And then she goes through this character development, and she becomes, because first off, like when they're in the car driving, she's very hesitant about moving to a new city. She's very hesitant about a new school. She even like sticks her tongue out at her school that they drive by.
hmm.
But at the end of the movie, she's like, I think I can handle it now. When her dad asks, are you nervous or scared? It's like, I think I can handle it. If I handled all that that fever dreamness, you know, I
Yeah.
can handle a new school. And I think she demonstrated perseverance and courage. And like when everybody, like you were right, when everybody's like, when No Face is handing out the gold, which actually I'm not sure if you remember or not, but that actually wasn't gold. It's actually dirt that No Face can transform into gold.
Yeah, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Yababa was not happy with that. Destroyed the whole inn. But yeah, I think she can definitely demonstrate perseverance and courage, and I think those are all obviously very important character strengths for a hero's journey type of like story.
What did you think about the sort of dynamic between Yubaba and her sister, which is Zeniba? Zeniba?
Zaniba. Yeah.
Zeniba.
Um, I'm ripping this off obviously from one of the many recaps I watched, but I enjoyed I enjoyed what they said about it. But um, what it said was both of the twin sisters are two sides of the same coin.
Oh.
Like one is greed, money, power, manipulation. The other side is simple life on a farm, like a granny style, like just weaving, trying to be helpful, but she will get back what's hers, which is like a, you know, don't steal from me and I won't bother you kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
But like I'll steal from you, that side of the coin. I think it's both sides of the same coin.
Do you think it had any influence on Sen? Like, do you think that she took away, like, do you think that there was some value that she took away from interacting with both Yubaba and
Aniba.
Zeniba?
Yeah.
Do you
Do I? Do you think?
like?
I think.
Do you think that because like they're both two pivotal characters, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that there was anything they had to offer in her that she took away from as sort of like a learning experience? I don't know. I'm just curious if you saw any sort of influence there
I
or
think
any
so.
learning.
Yeah, I think so. So, like, just from what she said, when she goes and sees Zaniba on the train, and talk about like doing something for love, or like for like to help out a friend in need. She rides the train all the way to the swamp place, but she's willing to walk the whole time back on a train, like on the train tracks.
Uh,
That's insane because it took them all day to get to there.
yeah.
Um, but Zaniba wants Sen or Chihiro to call her granny, but when she comes back to Yababa, the first thing she says to Yababa is like, "Hi, granny." So like she calls Granny both of them.
Uh,
So I don't know. I think that she starts to understand from what Zaniba is talking about Yababa wise that they're
mhm.
polar opposites, but they're twin sisters. That she recognizes and respects both of them.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I have 3 more points to go through.
Go ahead, please.
Oh man, we already talked about this though. What points does the movie make about greed? What happens to characters when they're greedy?
They get eaten by No Face.
They eat by no face, and then they turn into pigs.
Yeah, I think.
What?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead. The next one's a complete opposite of question.
Okay, I was just. I think it definitely like shows. I think not in every situation, but like how frivolous greed is, like with the gold turning into dirt, right? Like not even being real gold, right? Like all this stuff that in the physical sort of fades away with time. You can't take it with you. I think that was like a subtext there. Is like
Yeah.
it only has value because you're giving it value, but the moment the value gets,
Yeah.
lost or taken away, then it just becomes nothing, comes dust. And so I think that was kind of like a little subtext lesson is to sort of value your relationships more than
Money.
money. Yeah.
Which is like, I'm not gonna talk about it in tremendous detail, but like obviously you know what's going on in my life at the moment, and
Mhm.
I think that resonated with me a lot. How money isn't everything, and relationships and family comes first.
Oh
Uh,
yeah,
and I'm definitely made that choice. Recently.
I I think you know I I think it depends on like I'm gonna split hairs a little bit. I do find I don't I do find money useful. I see money more as like a tool, right? That you can use to accomplish like goals. I don't really see any more, and the money could be whatever. It could be a hammer because I need to nail something. It can be a car. Like
She's go ahead.
but I view finance as a tools. I think it's important, but I think it depends on what you're prioritizing, right? So like if you're prioritizing money for the sake of money, then I think you get lost, and you kind of lose sight of what's important. If you're prioritizing money, or if you're having it showing an valuing money, but because you're trying to take care of your family, or you're trying to take care of your friends, or trying to supply a better life for like your son,
Yeah.
like college or whatever. I think that there's some value in that, but I think but it's a balance, right? I think you
Yeah.
should some importance on your career because it can bring some value to your family, but not so. But it shouldn't be completely lopsided where it's at the bottom. If that makes sense.
Oh, trust me, that makes sense.
Yeah,
You know, it makes sense to me.
yeah.
Yeah. Totally good.
I think I hear a lot of times people say like, well, money can't buy you happiness. Well, that's true, but like it can buy, but it can solve problems, right? And so like you shouldn't. I've known people who've just completely like put the importance on their family above their careers and their jobs, and I watch them constantly struggle to make ends meet, constantly struggle to supply basic necessities, and it's like, well, yeah, I'm glad it's good that you valued your relationships, but now your relationships are suffering because you can't supply basic needs, right? And so that's kind of really influenced me on that.
Here's a couple quotes I just looked up about happiness and money.
Mhm.
First one is money can't buy happiness, but it can make you awfully comfortable while you're being miserable. This one says,
Funny.
they say money can't buy happiness, darlings, but it does allow you to give it away. Freddie Mercury.
That's cool.
Uh, let's give you one more. There's one I was trying to find. Um, that one's just mean. Anybody who thinks money will make you happy hasn't got money. Um, Money doesn't buy happiness, neither does poverty. I like that one. Kind of like what you
Yeah.
were saying about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, I think there's a balance. That's a tightrope.
Definitely.
What other movies have you seen with girl main characters? Is there anything different about Chihiro compared to other movie girls?
Girl main characters.
I just think of Madoka Magica. Like anime
Yeah.
wise, obviously Alice in Wonderland and Wizard of Oz is a big comparison to this kind of journey.
Yeah.
Stuck in a strange land, trying to find their way, magical creatures everywhere.
Do I think there's anything unique about Sin versus other female characters? Um, I think sometimes female characters are drawn as a either timid and I don't want to go so far as say incapable, but like definitely struggle to hold their own, or they're written as super strong-willed and I don't they don't need they don't need a man to take care of them. I think what's interesting and unique about Chihira is she is timid and scared, but she overcomes that adversity
Yeah,
in spite of feeling timid and scared and unable to. So I think what I like about Shahira, because having a strong female lead is important.
yeah,
I think that having a female lead who is not able to take care of herself is, I think, not good, right? Because you don't want to like create this sense of that because you're a woman, you can't take care of yourself. I think it's more important to have a strong female lead who can take care of herself completely independent of anyone else. But what I like about Chihira is that it showcases that even despite feeling timid and weak, you still have the capacity and the potential to overcome that adversity, which I think is more important than having a strong-willed character because I think that complete both in female and male that sort of complete like um sort of superhuman type attitude is not realistic for most people. I think what's more realistic is that we all feel weak, we all feel like we struggle, but we're able to push past that, and I think that's a better message.
yeah. I totally agree. Totally agree. Um, I like because like she does face her fears, even though she is fearful and afraid. I like the very first instance where she has to face her fears because there's no other option. I mean, there is another option, but she doesn't see that as an option when she's walking down the stairs after she's crying when Haku is like comforting her, and Haku's like, "I can't help you anymore. You have to do this on your own." She's
Yeah.
willing to accept that, and then almost fall down the stairs, but there's a wall that stops her, luckily. But like she's willing to take that first step into facing her fears, and then she just continually does it throughout the whole movie, which I really like that she's not wrote as a character as a helpless little girl, and she has a character arc, and you know her
I think yeah,
opinions do matter.
yeah. I think growth. I think that's kind of like you see a lot of growth in her. I think that going the full like all the way where they're already completely evolved and they're already in that state of being able to take care of themselves. I think can kind of create. I think it's difficult to do that in such a way where I don't know how to word I'm trying to say. I think it can be difficult to sort of show that sort of character and have them be accepted as believable. Like I really loved Wonder Woman as a character.
Yeah. Hmm.
I did not like, or I shouldn't say I did not like. I was less fond of Black Widow as
I
a
didn't watch
character.
Black Widow, so I mean, like overall with the movie.
Overall, like Wonder Woman as a character, like
See,
I
I like Black Widow more than Wonder Woman, man.
why?
Okay, so why don't you like Wonder Woman? How come you don't like Black Widow versus Wonder Woman? I want to hear your thoughts first.
I felt like Wonder Woman. Well, obviously Wonder Woman is already she has adversity to overcome, but she's already like her capacity, her capability is already defined, right? She's Wonder Woman.
Hmm.
She's she's a son of a god or daughter of a god. So she's a demigod, right? So
Yeah.
we already know that she is fully capable of handling her own, but she still has the motivation of like helping others, right? And so like she uses her strength to give back to others and help them overcome their obstacles. So it's kind of like we're getting, I guess, the best of both. Like we're seeing someone, a fully independent female character, and she's using that independence to help other people become better, right? Whereas with Black Widow, we have a fully independent female character who doesn't seem, at least to me, like that it's lost. Like that independence is completely lost on what its point is, other than for herself.
I
Maybe
complete
that's
I completely disagree with you on that.
okay.
That's just me though. I mean,
No, that's fine.
I see that I see Black Widow versus Wonder Woman to me. I feel like just from the two movies that she's in, obviously, um, as infallible. So like she can't do any wrong. Like she doesn't have.
Infallible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I used that word right. It's a big word for me. It's a big word for Elmo. But she doesn't like she has character growth, but like she's still a superhero. She still has powers and she still has all that, which is fine. I mean, like it's cool and all, but like Black Widow is, I can relate. I think more to Black Widow as like not knowing what to do, like feeling lost, character growth with that, and like you also said that she is. You say she's thinking about herself or like what's going on with me or what? How do you word that?
I said her. It feels like her independence is. I think I used the term. I think I said lost on herself, but I guess to clarify, I feel like her intentions as a character are murky at best.
Okay, and I would say like
I think that's more that's a better way of uh, like I know what Wonder Woman's intentions are. I don't
yeah.
think I always know what Black Widow's intentions are.
I think I have one word to sum up what I think Black Widow's intentions are, which is endgame, where she sacrifices herself for
Which also
all of the universe.
I feel like and then maybe maybe I think maybe Marvel just did Black Widow wrong because I felt like her biggest important moment was her death. I feel like I feel like they did her character wrong, and so I think that might be why.
Maybe, yeah.
I feel because I haven't seen the standalone films.
I haven't either.
Standalone films, okay.
You mean like the standalone Black Widow movie?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that either.
I've seen okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I just seen like what she's in already. So that's just my thoughts on that. But
But to bring it back to Spirited Away, like I feel
yep.
like Chihira, I feel like I could see Chihira being the sort of prequel to Wonder Woman, like
I
in
can see that.
character growth and becoming like
Sure.
overcoming obstacle, and then you know consideration of others, becoming independent, but still giving back. I don't see her becoming a Black Widow type character
No. She's gonna
at
go on to
all.
be a normal schoolgirl. That's just, and I don't think she remembers anything from the Spirit movie. I mean, from her time in the spirit world, because I think obviously her parents don't remember anything because their memory's wiped. But I think Chihiro, once they exit the tunnel, she forgets all of it as well.
Do you think it was real?
Yeah, totally was real. You see her ponytail band. It's still in her head. Like, it's still on her head.
Okay.
Or I think it's real. I don't know. I think it'll happen.
You think all fantasy films are real?
Totally. 100%.
I'm thinking back to when we watched Mirai.
Oh, that was totally real. What do you mean?
But yeah, I think Spirited Away is very good.
The more I think back to Mirai, the more I have fond memories of watching it. I don't know why.
Mirai is like a...
I would watch it again. I would.
Definitely. I feel like Mirai is definitely like a... I don't know, like a Sunday afternoon cozy film.
That's definitely when I watched it, so...
Yeah.
Saturday
Really,
afternoon.
yeah, Mirai definitely is a rewatch. You know what I really like? Castle in the Sky.
Never seen it.
Another Studio Ghibli movie.
Is that different than the Howl's Moving Castle? Oh.
Castle in the Sky is a very interesting story. Between between two movies where there's like floating buildings.
Yeah.
I think I like Castle in the Sky. I definitely think the voice acting in House Moving Castle is top notch, and so that's why I'm drawn to that a lot. But I think story wise, I like Castle in the Sky better.
Quick question: is this our 30th episode?
No,
it's not. What episode is this?
23.
No, it's not 23. No.
I'm pulling it up right now.
29. It's 29.
Is it 29? Okay.
Yeah, that's sad because I wanted it to be 30. Big 30. Big 3-0. Spirited Away.
What do you want to? What do you want to?
Well, if we had Tokyo Ghoul already, you know what I mean, we could just put that at 29, but it didn't save. It is what it is.
It's a lost episode. We said we were going to tell people what that episode was.
We said what?
We're going to tell people what the lost episode was.
I don't know what the lost episode was. What are you talking about? Belle did really well, by the way.
Who said that? 36 right now.
What?
Belle.
What about Belle?
That Belle did really well.
No, I meant our last podcast.
Oh, I thought you were. I thought you were talking about the movie. Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
How many downloads?
17 already.
And a less.
And I posted on Tuesday. Anything else you want to talk about? Spirited Away. I went through all my questions.
No, I don't think so. Who's your favorite character?
That's a toughie for me. Favorite character? Huh. Probably... Probably no face.
Like about him, or did you like? When did you?
I like the strong silent types. That's why I like Mandalorian. But that's why I like Mando more than I like Boba Fett. I like Boba Fett, original Boba Fett, because he never talked.
Yeah.
Mando doesn't say, like, Mando talks, but like I like that he really never took his helmet off, and how he just says like one-liners. I like that a lot. Space westerns. But yeah, I like No Face because he doesn't really talk, and when he does, it's because he ate someone else, which is super cool. I don't know. I'd say No Face. How about you?
Oh, I said earlier the oh god, what's his
Kamaji.
name? Kamaji, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
I'm surprised. I thought you would have liked Haku.
No. He's a cool dragon, I guess, but no.
Because he's got this sort of like...
I mean, if you think about it, he's a... like 14 to 18-year-old boy. Granted, he's a river. Didn't know that at the time when I was watching it until the end. that's like hitting on this 10-year-old, and I'm like, nah, don't like that. That's not cool. And
You
then,
said you thought he was hitting on her?
I mean, love broke the spell, huh? And I'm pretty sure a 10-year-old's love is different than a 14, 18-year-old's love. And then come to find out, he's actually a river that's thousands of years old. Way worse. Way worse. So no, I did not like Haku that much.
Okay.
Keep it in your pants, you know what I mean?
Oh my god. I love doesn't have to be.
Also seemed like a stalker to me, you know? It's like she fell into the Hokaku River and is like, I've known you since you were little. She's still little, bro. Creeper. It's a good thing they drained your river and built apartments on top of it. Good thing.
Okay.
That's my thought process, though.
Uh,
Is that fair?
okay.
Is that fair?
That is.
That's a very over dramatized version of it. That's my first thought when I was watching it. And I was like, I don't like this. Don't like this at all.
That's fair.
I don't know how old, I don't know how old Haku is. Let me look up how old Haku's supposed to be.
It really bothered you, didn't it?
It did, man.
I didn't pick up on any of that stuff like that. Like,
okay, never mind. It's not as bad. I mean, it is bad because he's still a river that's thousands of years old. But he's 12 in the movie. Like, he's a 12-year-old boy. Not as bad as I thought it was.
Well, still, I didn't even like that sort of like perception completely got lost on me. I didn't think that at all.
I thought it was kind of weird, man. I mean, I assume
even when you're talking about like love, like it's like affect, like you can have like a
that's what I think.
A sibling love, a brother, you know, like just a deep care for a friend, a companion. Like it doesn't have to be.
That's
like
totally how I saw Sen's point of view on Haku. I thought Haku had other intentions. I could probably be totally wrong, but it's
those
fine.
Pesky river spirits with their
pesky river spirits. Chihiro. Spirited Away. Yeah, she's 10. I don't know. That's my thoughts. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else.
What do you want to watch for next week? Are you getting less busy to do series again or not?
No, I didn't
think so.
I'm getting more busy.
That's perfect. Perfect.
Yeah. How about you? Are you starting to free up to have more time for series?
We'll find out. I have no idea. I mean, this week's pretty free.
Yeah, let's stick to movies for a while.
That's good.
What do we want to watch next week?
I would want you to watch Demon Slayer and the Mugen Train, but you won't understand any of it, so I'm not going to have you watch that until you watch the series.
Is that why you asked me if I have free time?
Yeah, number one grossing anime film, you know what I mean?
What? Let's see here. So we could watch a movie that I haven't seen before. Like Totoro.
Totoro.
Or we could watch one I've already seen. I will actually watch.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah, there's no way you can watch Demon Slayer. It's 26 episodes.
Oh God. Let's pick a Studio Ghibli film. I'll let you pick.
All right, let me see. I'm gonna look up.
Did I already ask you? Do you think if you had to compare Belle and Spirited Away?
Yeah.
Which did you like better?
Spirited Away.
Spirited Away? Okay.
Spirited Away. I like the concept of Belle a lot, but obviously I think I actually like the animation and the art of Spirited Away more. Okay. It's weird. But I watched the updated version, where they redid a lot of the scenes.
Okay.
Which makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I think overall Spirited Away did everything better in my opinion than Belle. Which I totally understand why it's a cult classic now. Can't believe I haven't watched it since now. Makes no sense to me, but whatever.
What's the next Studio Ghibli film that we should watch?
I'm looking at all of them ranked. There's 22 of them. I didn't know that. Bro, there's one that did awful. 43%.
How old is
Rotten
it?
Tomatoes.
Was it like his first film?
2006. Tales of Earthsea. Never even heard of it. Oh, it's directed by Goro Miyazaki, not Hayao Miyazaki. So Hayao Miyazaki's films aren't bad, I guess then. Who's Goro Miyazaki then?
I don't know.
Are they the same person? No, different person. Goro is the son of Hayao Miyazaki. My bad, bro. But your dad did a little better. At least for that one. At least for Tales of Earthsea. I can't really say because I don't actually watched it, but and then who is Isao? Okay, never mind. It's not the same guy. Isao Takahata. From Up on Poppy Hill, Goro Miyazaki directed that, and that did really well, it looks like. But Hayao, man, can't beat Hayao. Let me see what I want to watch. Ponyo looks weird. Don't want to watch that. My Neighbor Totoro, number 9. Surprising, it's only 9 though. The Secret World of Arietti, Castle in the Sky. Spirited Away is 5. They got 5. It's ranked 5th. This is Rotten Tomatoes, so take it with a grain of salt. Kiki's Delivery Service, Grave of the Fireflies, Only Yesterday, and The Tale of Princess Kaguya. Huh. Let's see. Let's do My Neighbor Totoro.
Okay.
Because it's such a big cult following. What's it even about? I have no idea.
I have no idea either.
I mean, I came into Spirited Away not knowing anything, and I like that more. So I won't look at anything. But we'll do My Neighbor Totoro next.
Okay. Cool.
Alrighty. I guess we'll catch everyone next time when we review My Neighbor Totoro.
Bye.